James here from goodguitarist.com with another 5-minute guitar lesson. And in this lesson, we're going to show you how to add a bit of percussion to your strumming and finger picking. And we're also going to go over the difference between slapping on an acoustic versus an electric guitar. So first, a bit of background info. The slap is actually quite a common component of strumming and finger picking patterns. It usually falls on beats 2 and or 4, which are referred to as the backbeat. And that's what the drummer is often playing on his or her snare. So this is kind of playing like a little bit of drums on your guitar. We'll be doing this all on an E chord. And if you need help with that, there's a link down below to a video that goes over it. Otherwise, we'll start by taking a look at getting a nice slapping sound. We're gonna strum just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Really simple. Just relax into it. And now, on 2, we're going to do a slap. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And there's a bunch of ways to do the slap. You can twist your wrist and then hit it with the flat part of your thumb. That's a really good one. It gets the bass notes, and it's really easy to do. It's really efficient. And you can also curl your fingers up and get them in on it as well. Really cool one. I like doing that one, and I feel that that's kind of a part of it, no matter which way you do it. Another thing, if you want to get even more energy into it, is you can lift your arm off like that and just play it like a drum. Once again, you can hit it with an open palm, side of your thumb, fingers. You just have to experiment and see what works for you and for the song you're playing. You know, sometimes you need a more subtle one, just the thumb. Sometimes you need it to be huge. So let's try it together a couple times. And if you want more practice, you can watch this lesson on our site. Anyways, let's give it a shot. 3, 4. One, two, strum, slap. So you should really take your time with the slap, trying to get a nice sound that's not too loud or too soft, because now we're going to add an upstroke to our pattern. So all that is down, then up, and then slap. Down, up, slap. Down, up, slap. And we can add an upstroke after the slap as well, and then we'll get a really cool pattern. So that's down, up, slap, and then up. And doing the upstroke after the slap kind of requires you, if you're using a pick, to kind of have it lower so that you can just do it right after. Because if you slap here, you'd have to move your hand in order to do an upstroke, and that would ruin the rhythm of it. So when you're slapping, make sure that your pick or whatever part of your hand you're going to use to attack the strings is lower than it, so that you can sweep across them with an upstroke. And when you loop that, you get a really cool rhythmic beat. So let's try it together just a bit here. If you want to practice for longer, there's a link down below. You can visit this on our site and practice along for quite a bit longer than this. All right, here we go. 3, 4. So that's how you include this technique in your strumming. Well, now we're going to try adding it to a fingerstyle pattern. We'll just play the low string here with our thumb. We'll skip this one. We'll go here, here, and here. Thumb, fingers, then a slap, and then the fingers again. So the first bit, thumb, fingers, and then when we do our slap, I have to be careful to make sure that my fingers land right on the strings they need to pluck, so I can just immediately I can pluck all the strings. And the same thing applies to your thumb. If you were doing a slap and then playing with the thumb right after, you want to land your thumb on the string that it's going to be plucking. And that is the most important thing you need to know when you're incorporating that into fingerstyle patterns. So let's just take that first one we played where we went thumb, fingers, slap, fingers. And let's just try it a couple times. 3, 4. Finally, I want to talk about using this technique on an electric guitar, because it's basically the same, except depending on your settings, you'll need to pay attention to how hard you're hitting the strings. Generally, you'll want to be quite a bit softer. Also, if your pickups are raised towards the strings a lot, be aware that if the string contacts the pickup, it can make a really potent thud. And it can be used to your advantage, but if your amp is too loud, you might want to be careful. And the biggest difference between an acoustic and electric when you're using this technique is the fact that you have an amplifier. So not only do you have to experiment with how you're playing it, how hard or how soft, you also have to experiment with your amplifier settings to get that slap sounding how you like it while still giving you a nice sound when you're playing notes. So hopefully you've learned enough now to take this technique, practice it a bit, build on it a bit, and include it in some songs that you're already familiar with. Remember that it replaces beats 2 and 4 pretty easily, so if you go to our website, you'll find this video on a page along with some diagrams and audio backtracks, and there's some strumming patterns there that we've included this in. Try practicing along to them a few times this week, and I'm certain that you'll get this technique down in no time. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out at goodguitarist.com for your copy of our free ebook. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.